Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. We are currently in my living room. It is only like 4:30 and it is so dark outside already, which is sad. But I brought out my ring light and hopefully this lighting isn't too bad. So my birthday is tomorrow. I am turning 26 years old and I've always thought these videos were really fun and I want to do one of my own. So today I am doing 26 things that I have learned in 26 years. If you want to get me a birthday present, you can subscribe to my channel or give this video a like. I would really appreciate it. A little disclaimer before we get into everything. I am not a licensed therapist or anything like that. These are just life lessons I've learned and I feel like I wish I had known them sooner. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That is one thing I've learned throughout this kind of like content making journey and like watching other people's content. You take what resonates and you leave what doesn't, and that is okay. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into number one. Oh, I should say two. Some of these are a little bit more serious and some of them are a little bit more fun. So I just wanted to do something fun for my birthday, and this is fun for me. So number one is do not finish books or projects that do not bring you joy. You do not have to finish books that suck. You don't have to finish projects that aren't going the way you want them to go. 2, life is too short to obsess over outward appearances. So wear the shorts, wear the swimsuit and go swimming with your friends. I know that like I've done this too much in my life where I've just felt like, oh, my body doesn't look this way, I don't look this way or that way. You look like a human and that is normal. You do not have to look like the people on Instagram. 3, people who will tell you who they are and you should listen to them. I am someone who has been in and out of dating since I was in high school. People absolutely will tell you what they want and who they are. I have had people tell me like, you should leave me, or I don't love you. You should believe people when they say those things. Number 4, eggs are good for about 6 to 8 weeks after you purchase them, not the 2 weeks that they want you to believe that they are good for. I know this because I work in the egg industry and I did schooling for poultry sciences, so that is something I do know a lot about. That I am an expert in eggs. 5, give yourself 24 to 72 hours before making a large purchase. This is something that I do hold myself to, or at least I try to. Like, for instance, when I wanted this camera, I probably waited about a month before I bought the camera, and I considered getting, the Best Buy gift card with it, and so that I could pay it off over time, start building credit. So, and it was a really good idea for me to start out my YouTube journey doing it on my phone, so that I could even know if I liked it or not. Because what if I bought the camera and all the accessories and then I found out, you know what, this just isn't for me? Then I would have a $600 camera that I would never use. Thankfully, not what happened, but. Number 6, true friends will never leave you and they are worth waiting for. My best friend that I am living with right now is a friendship that, you see in the movies, and I know that sounds so cliche, and that's not to say that we're perfect, but oh my god, am I so glad that I have this woman in my life. And it took me 20 years to find her. We didn't meet until I was in college, and I was dang near 21. So true friends are absolutely worth waiting for. You do not have to settle for friends who don't treat you nicely or don't value you or take advantage of you. And number 7 kind of goes into what I just said. Don't keep scores in relationships / friendships. Figure out a system that works for you or a balance. So, like me and my best friend, it's, oh, if we go out to dinner, we're like, well, who paid last? I'll pay next. You know that meme that's like, oh, me and my best friend exchanging the same $10 for forever. That's what me and my friend do. Because it's just like, you paid last time, I'll pay this time. And I don't know. We have a good balance of fast food versus sit-down places. Number 8, hair grows back. So chop your hair, dye your hair, get the bangs. Just do it. What was it? 2 summers ago, I got these bangs, and I just got them refreshed yesterday, actually. And I was always so worried that they wouldn't look good on me, all this stuff, and I tried growing them out. And I was like, I hate my forehead now. So, hair grows back. Unless you're bald, but I don't know what to tell you on that one. Number 9, it is okay to walk away from things that don't make you happy. So I know that in life we feel like we have to do things like, oh, I have to keep this job, I have to get married, I have to be in this relationship. You don't technically have to do anything. You just have to do what makes you happy. Granted, I know that that comes with a lot of other caveats, and you do have to have a certain level of privilege to be able to walk away from, you know, a job that sucks, or financially it can be hard to leave a relationship if there are kids or something involved, but like, you have the power to change your situation, even if that it may not take, it may take longer than a day, it may take a week, it may take a month, it may take a year, but like, you have that power, and it is okay to walk away from things that don't make you happy. Number 10, and this is one that's interesting because I just started living by this, I guess. Living in the moment is fun, but don't forget to take the photos. There are so many events in my life that I wish I had photos from, and there absolutely is a balance of living in the moment and then being like, hey, I really want a photo of us together, or I want a photo of me and this, or, you know. And I feel like I really learned that when me and my friend went to Houston while I was traveling for work. We took so many photos, and I don't feel like I lived in the moment any less. I don't feel like I lived through my phone. And it was so nice. Now I have all those memories to look back on. 11, stop caring about what others think. And this is like so serious. Stop caring what others think. I have wanted to start a business since I was probably around 18 when I started crocheting. Granted, there were a lot of other things that kept me from doing it, but once I graduated college, I was like, I want to start a small business. Like, what should I do? And I started making beaded bracelets and necklaces. And I was so scared to start posting on Instagram. I'm like, what will the people from high school think? What will people from college think? They don't care. And if they do care, then that's sad for them, because they need to get a hobby. They don't care, and you will build your own community of people who are rooting for you. So stop caring. Number 12, it's okay to be a fan. I love Taylor Swift, and I wish that I had been stronger within myself to be one of those people who would scream it from the rooftops as a child, but I wanted to fit in so badly. I never stopped listening to her music, but I definitely felt more awkward about saying like, oh, you know, I like her, because I was afraid of the world around me or how I was going to be perceived. And I will never let myself feel that way again. You be a fan of whatever you please, and that also goes into like the people don't care, and if they do, they don't matter. 13, move away from home. I'm originally from Minnesota, and I now live on the west side of South Dakota. I am 9 hours away from home. You don't have to move that far, but I think even if you just move away from college and you move back home, having time away from what you grew up around and the ideals that you grew up with is so good, and it is so life-changing. So move away from home, even if it's just for a little bit. You can always go back. 14, live alone at least once in your life if you can afford it. I know that also comes with an immense amount of privilege, being able to live alone. I've lived alone at multiple points within my life, but I will say, like, I did not live in, like, nice apartments. My final year of college, I had a 1-bedroom apartment that me and my friends so lovingly reference as the dungeon apartment. I have done the quarter laundry, I've lived without dishwashers, and I know that those things are things that, so many people are accustomed to. But I lived alone in very crappy apartments with, like, no heat and no AC, and sometimes it's just like that, and there were other life circumstances that brought me to, like, living alone, but I think that everyone, if you can, should. There's so much you learn about yourself, how you like to spend your time, what you want to do. There's just, like, a lot of questions that you ask yourself that I feel like when you live with people, there are so many other distractions. 15, your grades don't matter after high school. They do not, unless you are in a program where you have to keep up a certain GPA. Like, I know that some honors colleges, or, like, I was in a sorority, so, like, yeah, I had to keep a certain GPA, but, like, you don't have to get all A's in college. I know plenty of people who had 4.0s in college and they have trouble with jobs. So that's your ability to sit behind a desk and memorize for a test does not attribute to what kind of worker you will be in, like, the quote-unquote real world. 16, do things alone. So if you can't live alone, you should do things alone. This is a skill, and it does need to be practiced. I know that a lot of people find it very daunting to eat alone. So, like, I would not recommend starting with eating alone, but I would say, like, go to the library or go grocery shopping alone. Grocery shopping can be kind of overwhelming, so I would really say, like, the library or a bookstore, or just, like, shopping on your own, where you get to make all the decisions and you don't have to worry about other people in your ear about anything. Definitely try doing things alone, and you work up to eating alone. I traveled for work for quite a bit of time over the past, like, month and a half, and eating alone, yeah, it can be daunting, but once you start doing it, it's just kind of like, oh, I just want my food. People don't care. So yeah. 17, don't let someone buy you a prairie fire shot on your 21st birthday, because then you might throw up on the bar. And for anyone who doesn't know, a prairie fire shot is tequila and Tabasco sauce. So, don't ever have those. That is the one and only time I've ever had it, and it clearly was not a very fun experience for me. 18, let people leave your life who don't want to be in it. Do not beg people to be in your life. No, nobody is worth that. You do not need to beg someone to be in your life. 19, you can sleep when you die. It's okay to lose some sleep sometimes. I know that there are some extenuating circumstances, but what I'm trying to say is that it's okay to bend your routine sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have a little bit of less sleep, and that's okay, because I bet that night was worth it. Or, maybe that book was worth it. Who knows? 20, wait until you absolutely know and are ready and able to have a pet, because they are expensive. I waited 24 years to get my cat. I've wanted a cat since I was a child. There were so many times in my life where I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. And I definitely know that I wasn't. The first time I lived alone, like truly lived alone was when it was my super senior year of college. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a cat, like it's gonna be so good. I would not have been able to afford a cat. I made such little money for how often I worked. I would not have been able to keep up on vet bills, on the type of food that I would wanted to feed her. And also, if I had gotten a cat then, I wouldn't have Brew right now. So pets are expensive and they are a really big responsibility. So take it very seriously if you want to have a pet, and especially if you want to get a dog, because I think of dogs as almost more of a commitment because they do require so much more from a person physically. This is coming from someone who grew up with dogs. I love dogs. They're even more expensive than cats. So that's just my thought. Like I said, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. 21, ergonomic crochet hooks will save your wrists in the long run. Yes, you should absolutely invest in the ergonomic crochet hooks. The Clover and More ones are awesome, or any other one that at least has a fat handle. Or if you do like the aluminum ones, Chunky Boy Crochet on Instagram, they have silicone sleeves where you just put it on like the cheap aluminum crochet hooks. It just makes them ergonomic. And I know that that is why I am able to crochet as much as I do, because I use ergonomic hooks. 22, you don't have to overwork yourself every day just to be considered a hard worker. This kind of goes against rise and grind culture, and I'm not one who really subscribes to rise and grind, because while I know that I want to work hard, I know that every day is different, and you have to listen to your body, you have to listen to your mind, how are you feeling? And I also have a job where I work from 6 to 3:30 every day. I can't just, do this all the time. Would love to. I can't. And that's not where I'm at in my life, and that's okay. You can pursue your passions outside of work. 23, you don't have to be nice to people who are mean to you. If someone is mean to you to your face or behind your back, you do not have to be nice to them. And I think that there is this connotation that, oh, be nice to everyone. No, you don't have to. Not if they were mean to you. There are people in my life that I will not talk to because they were mean to me. And there's a quote by Taylor Swift. She says, you can forgive, but you can move on without forgiving or forgetting. You absolutely can. And they're like, oh, well, like, forgive. No, you don't have to forgive somebody who was mean to you. I am a Scorpio, so they do say that those are so good for holding grudges, but that's just my opinion. 24, confrontation helps you and the other person move forward. Don't let things like fester, and if that person is not receptive to talking about whatever issues you guys might have, then maybe that's someone that you don't need in your life. But confrontation, when done appropriately, can only help to serve you and the other person, no matter how scary it is. 25, there is no timeline. Your life has no timeline, and this is coming from a woman who is 26 and is not married and has no children and does not have plans to do either anytime soon. Living in the Midwest, I feel like I have a warped sense of culture surrounding marriage. A lot of people I know got married right out of high school or got married right out of college, and they have kids, and it feels like, they are moving forward with their life and I'm not, but that is simply not true. Just because I choose to spend my life differently than how they chose to spend their life does not mean that I am behind. And that doesn't mean that you're behind either for whatever you are doing in your life. There is no timeline for anything. And 26, there is only this life that we know of. My best friend, whenever we're doing something fun or a little story time. We went to the Twin Cities for a weekend with some of our friends, and we went to this bar that everyone had told us about. I can't remember what the name of it is off the top of my head, but we ended up stumbling on a rave, and it was so fun. And I just remember being so upset and depressed. I had been going through a breakup. This was like 2+ years ago at this point. And I was so sad, even though we were in this very like high energy, happy area. I was so sad, and my best friend looked at me and she was like, Taylor, look where we are right now. Look how awesome our life is. This is the only life we get, and look how we get to spend it. And I don't think that I've ever experienced something so, I don't know, it was really a pivotal moment for me in my life, if you can't tell. And why not live this life to absolutely what you want it to be? There's no reason to waste time in relationships or friendships or jobs that do not serve you or do not bring you joy. And as I said before, I know that there's a certain amount of privilege that comes with being able to say these things and live the way that you want to live. But things also can take time. Things can absolutely take time, and some things are worth waiting for. But yeah, so that's 26 life lessons I've learned in 26 years. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As a birthday present to me, it's my birthday. I want you to subscribe to my channel. If any of this resonated with you, comment down below, and I would love to hear what kind of advice you have for me moving forward into my year 26. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye.